Welcome to Roguecast, the official podcast of Rogues Gallery. We'll talk comics for the week, as well as whatever news is on our pop cultural radar. I'm Randy.
I'm Nick.
This is Dave.
And now, on with the show. Hello and welcome to episode 550 of the Roguecast.
Man, so, every once in a while I'll talk to some customer about the podcast, and I've been trying to think, how long have we been doing it? Do you know how long, how many years it's been?
I don't know, but it's a lot.
Is it over 10?
Probably.
Maybe 15?
Probably. I mean, when did we start? We started a while ago, so...
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Because we're, coming up... We've been Rogues Gallery for almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years.
We're 1 year shot.
Yep.
And I think much of that time we were doing a podcast.
I agree.
I don't remember if we reboot at some point.
We did. We did change numbers, so we're this is
so
technically
you could add on
higher.
We need legacy numbering.
Legacy numbering. Yes.
Yeah, we're actually
people love legacy numbering.
We're actually on episode 739.
It's not confusing at all.
And people do like to keep track so they know how to sort us.
Yes.
Yep.
But so
it's Free Comic Book Day week.
It's Free Comic Book Day week. We should mention, as you may have noticed, we weren't here last week.
Right. Sorry about that.
We may not be here in other future weeks. There's we've had some glitches with our FedEx.
Yes.
We switched to UPS for our lunar deliveries, which is Image, DC, and a few other people.
Yep.
And then UPS turns out is also not great for them because of the way they ship. So we got comics on Tuesdays, and this week we're getting them on Wednesday, which we have not pulled on a Wednesday
in a long
time.
Right. So we will be desperately trying to get the books ready right before we open up.
With any luck, for most of you, it will be invisible.
Right.
If you're an 11 a.m. Wednesday regular, you're going to see us scrambling to get everything on the shelves.
True.
Yeah. But we should be able to get it done. It's like old school pulling for us.
Yep.
Anyway, so as a result, when we talk today, we'll be talking about last week's comics, some of this week's comics, but we do not have any of our DC or Image this week.
Yep. We can only surmise what they might be like.
Yes, we'll make guesses.
Yeah, I can make an educated guess.
Yeah. But at any rate,
I can make a completely insane guess.
While we try to it's been about 3 weeks, and we've not had a regular Monday poll for us in a while.
Yeah.
We're hoping we'll go back to normal, especially after Free Comic Day and all the extra stuff that's shipping for that. But there may be weeks where the podcast disappears. If it does, assume we're running around here like chickens with our head cut off.
Yeah, we've not to gripe overly much, but we, even though we can't, we don't know when things are going to arrive at really any given week, but we can usually get something.
Yep.
And we try and staff for that. It's very frustrating when we staff for it and they don't arrive.
Right.
And then there's a day where there's only 2 of us here and it all arrives, and it's just. It's been chaotic lately.
It's especially frustrating when your FedEx driver keeps pulling under a locked door, deciding you're closed at 3 in the afternoon, and not coming back till the next day.
Yeah.
Not to throw shade at FedEx.
Randy, are you trying to, will no one rid me of this meddlesome priest?
I would never. I don't know the guy's name.
Rid me of this meddlesome FedEx?
No, I'm just saying, FedEx and UPS both have pissed me off from time to time. Right now, I'm more pissed at FedEx.
Yeah.
This is the last week of our clearance sale. It will wrap on Friday. There are not many games. There's 4 games left. The games are $10 a piece. They're almost all gone. Yeah. But there's still a good stack of really good graphic novels, $5 a piece. Come and make a pass to that table before the
You know what I got
out.
the other day? I got something. I got the Star Wars Timelines hardcover. Mm-hmm. I was every once in a while I run some Star Wars role-playing games, and if I want to zero in on an era and just remind myself what was all going on around there, this is a beautifully illustrated book that I got for, was it $5? $5 instead of $40 or whatever it was.
Yep.
And it had in addition to elaborate timelines that includes comic book stuff in it too. They zeroed in on the Death Star, in super key events like the Battle of Yavin. So they had almost an hourly basis of what was going on. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And that's just a random thing that I picked up from it.
Yeah, there's really good graphic novels.
You can find
there.
all sorts of goodies.
Yep. Saturday is Free Comic Book Day.
It is.
We will have a bunch of free comics. You can come in. You'll wait. What we always say is there will be a line at the beginning, but it's also a nice energy. And you get the best selection if you're in that line.
Yeah.
If you wait till later in the day, there will still be comics, but there's going to be a lot less.
A few things will start to sell out.
Yes, yeah. So if you want
early
the full
on
selection,
in the first few hours, it's only going to be maybe 2 or 3 things, and most of the ones that will have gone will be the smaller indie ones that not a lot of people were necessarily looking for. But some people are looking for them, and for that, you should definitely be there early.
It is like Dungeon Crawler Carl this year. We ordered a fair amount, but it wouldn't shock me if it goes pretty early.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, like, if you know you want that, if you want to make sure and get, like, the Marvel one or the DC one, we probably will have that till later in the day. But you never know.
I mean, I haven't read a lot of them, but I've read the Energon one.
I read the Energon one, too.
And that was great.
That's fun. Yeah.
Also, that is the day that we will be giving out our reading
challenge. Have you got younger people?
Yeah, what does that go up to? 14?
10, 11, 12, 75?
We'll look
I don't
into
know.
this.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out by that day. But anyway, yes, if you've got youngsters who are looking to join our graphic novel reading club for the summer, it's been getting bigger and bigger each year.
Year 4.
We give you a little packet with a bunch of selections on it to choose from. The kids read it. They write just a line or two about like what their favorite part of each book was to show that they've read it. And when you bring it back to us, we have a little goodie bag, and they get to put their name on the big board.
And I will also just toot my own horn for just a second, but I've been doing sketches for Free Comic Book Day, and about the first 30 people.
You say sketches, but these are like full color.
They're fully colored.
They're fully colored.
Yeah.
But the first 30 people in line will get a random sketch that I did.
Yep.
Which run the gamut from Marvel, DC. For the moment, I'm going to branch out and do some independence
because
as well.
you just as a matter of interest have been drawing characters from like Dungeon Crawler Carl, and fantasy versions of like Marvel characters and stuff like that. But for this particular thing, you're hitting the classics for the most part.
I've branched out into some odd ones.
I mean, you did Adam Warlock the other day, and I thought it looked very cool.
Yeah.
And like Adam Warlock is a lesser known character, but a damn cool looking one. He has a great look.
I'm sorry for the person who ends up with Captain Boomerang or Mirror Master.
Why?
No, that's awesome.
I mean,
those are both great characters.
Awesome.
Yep, they are.
Some child is going to be like, who is Mirror Master?
I'm like, well,
that child needs to learn.
That's right. And I'm like, do you want to know about the coked up assassin one from Glasgow?
And that's when Dave is not allowed to talk to children anymore.
Let me tell you, child, of Grant Morrison and Animal Man. And the cocaine-riddled Mirror Master. But otherwise, it's very all ages friendly. I know that we just in case you haven't been, this is an event that is broadly, many of the comics they put out are, like, I would say G to PG if we were using movie ratings.
Yep.
And we do put those up on the tables just to kind of help them. There's always a selection of some stuff that's on the grown-up table that's going to include, kind of darker sci-fi or fantasy. It's where Walking Dead would go if there was a Walking Dead comic and stuff like that. But broadly speaking, this is very kid-friendly event.
Yeah.
And it's just super fun.
It is. It's the biggest event of the year.
They can enter the graphic novel reading contest.
Yep. All right. We got some games the last couple weeks. GameGenic finally put out some sleeves that have been out of print for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So we got
Thank
soft
God.
sleeves, the standard card game sleeves, which we've got a lot of. The standard American size.
That's the stuff that'll fit Magic and Pokemon and stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Standard American, which is like another board game size, which gets used a lot. And the Tarot sleeves are slightly oversized.
Yep.
So all those are all back in. They're putting out other ones like the European. Some of those are coming back too. But if you've been looking for card sleeves, which have been kind of scattered for a few months.
Yeah, thanks for being patient. It was frustrating for us to not be able to get them in.
Then we got a game called Coming of Age. That is, it's kind of Game of Life-ish, it looks like. Basically, you start the game as a child, and then you grow and acquire new interests, gain more independence, fall in love, friends, move to a different city.
But this is like a serious version of that?
It's a serious version of that.
Okay.
You'll add different traits to your personality, you'll make friends, you're using dice management to do this. It looks like a really cool game to me.
And then you die.
And then you die. You don't die in-game.
My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die. That's how the game ends for everybody. You get killed by Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. Yep.
Well, there is that sound clip that they do put on. You hit a button, it plays that, and you
of
die.
course. Yeah. Classic Man in Black token comes out.
We got a game from the designer of Sushi Go called Wombat Poo.
Yes.
Because Wombat Poo is shaped like cubes.
That's a famously true thing, just in case you didn't know
it's true. And in this game, you take turns stacking poo cubes of different sizes onto a teetering tower.
We believe this one is going to be popular with your kids.
Yeah, it's like Jenga too. It's like a little bit of a Jenga thing.
Yeah, but poop Jenga.
But poop Jenga. We got a game called Dracula's Fortune. Dracula is dead for the second and final time, and he didn't leave a will. As one of his favorite vampiric students, you believe you should be the first in line to inherit. and so you're trying to get the best mementos.
Yeah, with the other ones for the best Dracula loot.
Yep.
I love the premise of this.
Yeah, it's a great premise.
It's very good.
Yep. We got more of the D&D Nolzur's minis, Wave 28, which included, among other things, the Leshies, which are not D&D, they're Pathfinder. They're the plant monsters or plant creatures.
Are they playable?
They're a playable race.
I was going to say, they look so... A lot of them are kind of adorable looking.
Yeah. You can play like a gourd person.
Yes. Like a little gourd person with like little leafy arms and stuff. They're very well designed.
They are. We got some classic undead. We got Mephits, Bugbears, a Wendigo, a Barlgura, a really cool Dread Cyclops zombie.
Oh, yeah. That one is
some cool stuff.
Yes.
There's a game from Lucky Duck called Toliko, where you're the spirit fox. Toliko is in the northern Aurora, like the Aurora Borealis, and you are building out your wilderness map by sliding forest trails around. It's a tile placement game.
Okay. I like tile placement games.
The first player to place all their animal and river tokens wins the game. We got Corpborg, which is...
a Morkborg type game...
So
in a cyberpunk future,
it's not in a cyberpunk future.
It's not.
It's not. It is not cyborg related.
Oh, okay, that's right.
It's corporations, but there's like demonic influences. It's sort of a dark parody of capitalism. So think like American Psycho.
Right. But also like, is this a little bit of like workplace? Is like a secret battleground?
Yes.
Kind of thing.
What was the movie where they all got locked in the office building? That.
Oh, right.
They were unleashed like a killer gas on them.
Yes.
That one. Whatever that one is.
I remember there was a solidly fun...
It was a fun movie, actually. I liked it.
It's not like... I was like, oh, man.
Okay, you're going to have to Google movie locked
I still remember who the lead guy is. It Steven Yeun in that one?
I think it is, and it's Samara Weaving.
It is Samara Weaving, yes. Yes, that's correct, yeah. But yeah.
That sounds kind of fun. And people who know the Morkborg games, these games from Sweden, I believe, all known for their kind of like a little bit of heavy metal edge to them.
It's called Mayhem.
Mayhem, yes.
Old school old school mechanics, like D&D kind of esque mechanics. And usually like some like very fun lore, but they're usually beautiful to look at, and they kind of have this like acid punk kind of style. So I'd like to look at those. I've picked up probably like 3 or 4 of them, and they're fun reads. And I've actually played several of them too. So
you all have made numerous characters.
I just like the tables.
Yeah, the tables are extremely fun to make up characters on. Pirate Borg and Cyborg are the two that I think spent the most time with.
Yep.
But we will, and there's no free time anymore.
No.
We don't get free time like we used to, where we could make up a random character, which sucks because people keep coming in. I'm like, why you like our store or something?
Yeah, they make us sell them things.
Yeah, well,
brutal.
I guess we'll work with it if we have to. But if I find some time, I am going to what's this one called?
Corpborg.
Okay.
So
check it out.
It's a little hardcover like the Cyborg and Pirate Borg. Then there are a couple like zines that are compatible with Morkborg and Cyborg. One of them is called Kill Your Necromancer.
Okay.
4 new undead classes, 6 new adventures, and a bunch of new random tables.
Yep.
And then Pills Full of Gods, a Cyborg zine with new classes, new mechanics, solo rules, and gods.
Okay.
We also have Dog Flux. Flux is the game I know we've talked about before, where basically it starts as a very simple draw one, play one, but the rules change, the goals change, and they've done all kinds of flavors of it.
This is a very fun, ridiculous game where you kind of all about sort of having fun on the fly, flying by the seat of your pants to try and win it.
Yep. All right, let's talk about 2 weeks worth of comics.
Yep.
This week is the 5th week. It's actually quieter, which is probably good because there's a lot to talk about from last week.
Yeah.
And the big one to talk about is Spider-Man Superman #1. This is the Marvel edition of the
big
Spider-Man Superman crossover.
Yep.
Creators include Brad Meltzer, Geoff Johns. Who else is in here? Dan Slott. I was looking at the front. Only has like the main. It has all the artists listed for covers.
They're broken out
but they're broken out in the thing.
I'm trying to think. So there's an opening thing that actually Brad Meltzer's opening story has an interesting beginning. It begins with Superman and Spider-Man like trapped in like some sort of almost like weirdly otherworldly rubble. Like there's a kind of mystery as to what's going on that you'll eventually find out about. The other stories there, is this the one that has like Lana Lang and
Gwen Stacy
meeting kind of the sort of side girlfriends that sort of also ran sort of characters, but who've both become very strong characters in their own right. The writers have done good by them over the years. But yeah, it's fun to have them talking about the heroes.
I thought Meltzer's story was good.
Mm-hmm. It's solid. It's got really nice art from Amazing Spider-Man artist Pepe Larraz.
Yep.
It is a riff on a classic Spider-Man bit.
What other team-ups are in there?
So then we've got... There's
Spider-Man Noir.
Oh, there we go. Here's all the two. So, Spider-Man Noir and Golden Age Superman by Dan Slott and Marcos Martin.
That is my favorite.
That
was my favorite too.
It is. If you want to see the kind of tough social justice Superman, the guy who flaunted the law, and Spider-Man Noir, definitely a good time. And Marcos Martin is just one of my favorite artists.
Gwen Stacy and Lena Lang by current Spider-Man writer Joe Kelly and artist Humberto Ramos. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
The two also rans. They're not Lois Lane. They're not Mary Jane, and they kind of talk about that. It does not pass the Bechdel test.
Yeah, well.
Mysterio versus Superman featuring The Thing by Jeff Johnson, Gary Frank.
Oh, right.
This was a big.
That was a weird one.
This is a weird one, but it's fun.
It is.
Yeah. So it's sort of that one, and it's sort of true to Jeff Johns. There are so many wild characters you wouldn't have guessed would show in this. Because it kind of is giving you an overview of like an event that like a crossover that's already happened.
Yeah.
And so you see little glimpses of it from the side. And I forget who it was, but I was, it'd be like if you're like, is that the Clock King?
Yeah.
Is that the Mandarin? Just the craziest characters just randomly, being involved.
Hobgoblin vs. Steel by Steel creator Louise Simonson and artist Todd Knock.
Yep.
Ghost Spider and Supergirl by Stephanie Phillips and Phil Noto.
Yep.
Miles Morales and Superman by Miles Morales creator Brand McElbendis and Sarah Pacelli.
Yep.
Symbiotes in Metropolis by Jason Aaron Russell Donnerman, which is female Thor and is it Spider-Woman? Who teams up with her?
I liked that one.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It would have to be a DC character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Who? Oh, it's Wonder Woman. Duh.
Yep.
And they're dealing with the symbiote.
Yeah.
And then there's like a last just a little 2 pages. That's Jeff Loeb and Jim Chung. That's a Spider-Man, Superman, talking about sort of their lost loves.
Yep.
It's a good package.
Yeah, another good outing.
I myself prefer the Superman Spider-Man side, but I think you guys were maybe a little more on board this one than I was.
More on board, but I think I might still agree with that overall.
I will say that these two are better than the Batman Deadpool.
I agree, actually.
I like the Batman Deadpool.
I don't think that's the case.
Actually, I don't think this one's better than Deadpool Batman. Deadpool Batman.
Well, no, I'm just saying as a whole.
As a whole, I don't know if I agree with that. I think Deadpool Batman.
Me and Randy will always go to bat for Deadpool.
The Marvel offering, which is the Deadpool Batman, which was the first one, I think was really strong.
Yes.
And then the DC offering on this one, the Superman Spider-Man, I thought was equally strong to that. And then I thought both the second parts of each one were a little weaker, and that's kind of where my pattern would be.
But this is interesting. I guess this will show, and we felt like that the DC outing of Deadpool, Batman, Deadpool, last time we all thought it was a little weaker, but online it was largely embraced. Grant Morrison's kind of wackadoo story. Which I was like a little too wackadoo, Grant.
Yeah.
But I felt like he didn't have as
pushed
big
it to like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
He didn't have as big as good a feel for Deadpool's comedy as the other one.
Agreed.
But the internet loved it, and so what I do like about these is that they are obviously. The basic quality level is pretty high. They're bringing in a lot of their best creators. You're not going to like necessarily every single one, but it seems like everybody's finding stuff to like, and the overall this crossover between Marvel and DC is still very much something I'm happy about.
Yeah, same. I hope there's lots more to come. I want amalgam. I know people want the amalgam.
They teased it, and I think they're probably now developing it.
I actually also want sort of a DC versus Marvel throwdown again.
It'd be fun.
I think that would be fun.
That would be cool.
But I also think that while we're all enjoying this, I think everyone is trying to tell them, stop naming them like this, because people are super confused by Spider-Man, Superman, Spider-Man.
If instead it was called, I guess each one of them wants their name to go first on their one.
That makes sense.
But if it was called, say, Superman, Spider-Man, Tides of War, or Superman, Spider-Man, Brainiac's Return, something like that, so that it's very clear which one is which. Just give it a subtitle or something.
I guess the next thing we know that's on the horizon for crossover is they're reprinting Justice League versus Avengers
in
single issues, which is notable.
Yeah,
they did a random reprint of it, and it
Because they want they had to do it fast because they want to get money. It was George Perez.
George Perez.
Yeah. Oh right.
And they didn't have much of that didn't stay on shelves.
No, it was gone immediately.
So having that back in print will be pretty good if you've never read it.
It's great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, we went ahead and ordered very solidly on it, so to make sure we have it for a while. But it's
I expect it to sell out. Honestly,
same.
Yeah. So move quick on it. We don't know if they might They're sure to probably collect the current things. I think
they've already announced both hardcovers. Yes.
Okay.
And it will have the digital stuff in it as well. There's an Aquaman Geoff story.
Oh,
there's a few of those. So those will be in the DC and Marvel.
So is it going to be like, say, Marvel will do like Deadpool, Batman, as well as the new Spider-Man, Superman?
I believe that's correct. It's called it's like their titles are actually better. It's like Dark Knight's Days or something like that. Like they actually have you'll be able to tell which one is which.
Okay,
because they have different titles.
Okay,
but I can't remember if it's actually going to have all of it collected or if it's just the hardcover of the Batman Deadpool plus whatever digital stuff they had.
And all the covers.
I mean, that would be a hardcover probably, so.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, but anyway.
That's cool.
We'll see.
I'll have to go look at this.
Yeah, I wonder if JLA Avengers from 20 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever it was, will get a collection.
I hope so.
I hope so, but in the meantime...
I think that's got to be what they're doing. They're probably putting it back out, modern coloring, all that stuff, so that they can do a trade collection, basically.
Yeah, but the trade won't have the ads in it, and these facsimiles will probably have the ads.
That's true. And what do you buy comics for if not for the ads?
You need to see what was going through people's mind circa 2001.
Yeah, were there X-ray goggles back yet? Or were there Twinkie ads? You don't know.
Hubba Bubba?
There's no way to know. I'm looking to see, because I think I had the... so it's called The Dead of Night, NKNIGHT, and other stories.
Like Deadpool and Dark Knight.
And I think it says, I see Wells and Meltzer both named, which would imply to me that it is both Superman, Spider-Man, and...
Okay.
So it's both.
That's good. That's a solid package.
Marvel's doing a collection, DC's doing a collection, they'll have the collection of all of them. So that's kind of cool.
We should move on to another comic.
No, this is the only comic. We only have one left of these, and we may not even have by the time you're listening to this, but we have more coming. Last week, I think...
Don't freak your shit.
A surprise for us was Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Versity.
Yeah, yes.
This is all the Spider characters, from Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen...
except for the biggest
Spider-Girl,
ones.
Spider-Boy...
Except for Peter.
Peter's not in it. But, so all the Silk...
Yep.
I feel like there's somebody else.
Essentially, the younger, the next generation ones, Aranya.
Aranya, that's what I'm missing it. So they are getting together to be taught by the former Green Goblin Norman Osborn, who is currently reformed.
Yep.
And he's going to teach them how to fight him.
Miles is kind of ringleading the project from their side, and trying to talk them into it. Basically, what he's saying is, "Hey, we're pretty good. We've gone up against some tough challenges, but we've been struggling sometimes.
He's like, we're not a team.
We're not a team, and some stuff has been really dangerous because we haven't all kind of grown into our powers yet. So he's like, we need to actually train. And this first issue is about him kind of trying to convince them, and Norman Osborn springing a crazy trap on them.
Being who Norman Osborn is.
His training exercise is a little crazier than you want.
Also, I love the other adult they bring in. I won't spoil it, but the other adult they bring in to sort of balance him is also a great character.
Super good, and it won me over.
It kind of has that edge of Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
You get that
but you know
vibe.
what? I wasn't looking forward to it.
Me neither. I didn't think this was going to work.
I'm a little Spider-Versed out.
Sure.
I kind of wasn't looking forward to it, and then I read it, and I really had a good time with it. I think, the fact, Norman is he's not just kind of physically challenging them, he's browbeating them, and he's like, somebody will come up and they'll be like, not so fast, Goblin, or whatever, and he's like, I was wondering when you'd show up. He's like, usually you're to be found cowering in a corner. I heard that, you really have no, willpower of your own. He
also, I banged your mom.
He psychologically attacks them.
His banter is on point.
Yes. And it's on point.
Yeah, I don't love... There's so much about this that shouldn't work for me. I don't love the idea of the Spider-Verse being a team.
Right? We don't love reformed villains.
I don't love reformed Norman Osborn.
Or not Norman Osborn anyway.
It works. It all really works.
This is one of those cases where, by the way, he is aware. He's at some point the switch may get
I'm probably going to go bad again.
He's probably I'm probably going to go bad again, so you better learn. You might as well learn how to fight me from me.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good first issue.
It is.
And this is minor, but if you are reading Spider-Man: The Death Spiral, which also ended last week and had I thought a good ending.
A good ending for sure.
Which by the way, that was why I was waiting to see if they could land the ending, and I thought they did.
I agree.
there is a little bit of it that bleeds into Spider-Versity.
Indeed.
And so it's a little bit more ideal if you read Death Spiral first. Nothing super major, but just more ideal.
Image and Indies had a few number ones last week. Corpse Knight is the new Image one that is sort of it's a little Wolf and Cubby in some ways. It's it's actually a knight in like medieval France, 1429. Yep.
Although I think he's actually just like a farmer.
He's a farmer.
And he's telling his daughter stories about like Joan of Arc because it's in France and stuff like that. But like bandits kill him.
Yeah. And then,
but when they come back, like for the homestead or for the girl, he rises up like in armor and shit.
Yeah, he comes back as a corpse knight,
but kind of creepy.
It's got a little bit of the Crow in it.
Yeah,
a little bit of the Crow, but also a little bit of like he seems like a little bit like what if Frankenstein was on your side and was in armor.
But also, it's got a little bit of Joan of Arc tie-ins.
The Joan of Arc thing is not minor. They're actually like
that's a big thing
because the dad was telling about him. There is a kind of there's a through line.
This is also
the art's gorgeous.
The art is gorgeous.
It's from a guy who's like worked on a bunch of the Conjuring side project movies.
He came up with this while directing The Nun 2 in France.
No, I guess he was like that makes sense. He was looking into the lore of the Franks.
Yeah,
at least they shot on location.
Diablo: Dawn of Hatred by Cullen Bunn. This is the hack and slash video game,
which I guess has a new one out.
It has a new one. It's Diablo
I've never played any
7
Diablos.
or whatever.
I dabble.
I
was a Diablo dabbler.
I played the first one like crazy.
But it is weird because it is just a tap 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 slash blow up. Quick, take a potion. Blow up.
Although they've added some mythology to it. Like
right.
it is also supposed to be a little bit metal. It's like you're going against this demon, so you have to go into these demonic areas. And
the titular Diablo. But there, like, aside from the fact that the creatures and stuff do look amazing, these always have like real AAA graphics on them and stuff. The lore has gotten good. I think they may have gotten to the point where or is this one of their knockoff Torchlight? I know you can get pets in that. Yeah. I don't know if you can in this, but they're extremely well done. Yeah. So this is I don't know if the comic specifically ties into the new game. It probably does.
I think it does, but I don't really know.
Speaking of tie-ins,
Bun Eater is always good to
the Big Bun Man.
The Big Bun Man.
I actually missed when Randy was saying that. I didn't know it was the Big Bun Man.
You made the sign
last week. A lot has happened. For a game I don't play.
Dave makes all the signs, by the way, people, but he clears his memory cache every week.
Speaking of the signs this week,
yes.
We'll be getting the Swamp Thing, the Lost Swamp Thing comics from the 80s, from Rick Veitch's run that DC didn't put out. And I think, by the way, Randy, I think the time period was right when Last Temptation of Christ was getting boycotted for sacrilege, and I think DC was like, we do not want this heat.
Yeah.
Because what happens is Swamp Thing somehow travels back in time and meets Jesus. We don't know exactly the details. We don't know if it was supposed to be any good, other than Rick Veitch is generally a talented guy trying to kind of following in Alan Moore's footsteps. Yep. But anyway, just so you know, I have a bonus sign for it. There's the real sign, and then if you lift up the sign, it's like a pop-up.
Oh, you put that sign out?
Yes, I did. So there's a bonus sign if you look under it.
So yes, if you're listening to the podcast, this is Secret Rogues Gallery lore.
Right. There's not too many things like this. The little secret lore to learn.
So if you come in and flip up the sign, we'll know you heard the podcast.
You heard the podcast, and we'll give you the high five.
You heard it here first.
The podcast high five.
And last. Event Horizon had a prequel series by IDW. The same writer is doing now a sequel series.
Yep, I think it's set like 100 or 200 years later. And
200 years later.
And memory serves from the sign I made.
Yep.
That I think some like billionaire, some space billionaire, the equivalent of who's it, like Wayland Yutani guy or whatever. He sends like a ship to go recover the stuff. What's in this?
Yeah, which is the space equivalent of the "Don't Go in the Barn,"
right?
Where the serial killer keeps killing people.
But what if it's like more like? But like, I think there's an interesting thing where like the billionaire has like hired people to go into the barn.
Yes, yeah.
And I hope that this is about them being like, let's stuff the billionaire in the barn.
Yeah.
AKA the spaceship of hauntings.
Let's stuff the billionaire in the barn.
That's actually a board game I'm working on.
I like it as a new reality show.
Billionaire barn stuffer.
We got the 10th anniversary. This is a one-shot, I think, of Lopper, which is the sort of fantasy, comedy, over-the-top series by, who's this artist? Andrew McLean.
He always kind of reminds me of a sort of more cartoony, like somewhere between like Hellboy and like Tintin or something like that.
Yeah.
But with like sort of metalhead aspirations, and
there's a goblin getting his head punched off.
Yeah. It's good times. I think if you were looking for the kind of a little bit of twisted fantasy with cool artwork, this is a good book for you.
Yep.
And it's probably like standalone, basically.
It is, and we sell the trades all the time. So yeah. We got a weird image book called In Your Skin, which is a Bollywood take on body horror.
Yeah.
They referenced, what was the
Substance.
Demi Moore, the Substance as a thing here.
Yeah, I read it last night, and I enjoyed it. It took me a little bit to like get into it, but I enjoyed it. The basic premise is that there's this kind of young woman, and she's kind of an average-looking woman, not some sort of hideous monster, but she idolizes this glamorous Bollywood star, and is kind of sort of trying to coerce her way into her life, and then it seems like there may be sort of a body horror kind of way for her to imitate her.
Yeah.
The rest you should just read on your own, but I found like the incidental writing in it was sometimes surprisingly sophisticated. It reminded me of like some of the better stuff, like the early promising work of Ram V.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if that any of that makes you curious, check out In Your Skin.
Very printy and very painty and pretty.
Yep.
This week we have a one-shot from Frank Thierry. It's a follow-up to another one-shot he did. Although I don't think you have to have read it because I didn't.
Oh, is it a one-shot?
It is a one-shot.
I believe all of these
are all... I think these may be digital first.
Yeah.
But it's called Doom 2099, Rage of Doom. And basically, Doom 2099 is in a wasteland future where he's ruling over a world made of nothing but Doombots. Because in this alternate reality, when Doom took over as Emperor, he basically scorched the world. And so he's using time travel to try and go back and prevent himself from destroying the world. And there's another Marvel villain in here, which I thought was a good take.
Yeah.
Watching him match with Doom.
Doom's like, listen up, me. Don't do that.
Don't do it. And he's like, who are you to tell Doom what to do?
Doom does not listen to anyone,
not even Doom. Yep.
This is like going to be a Captain Kirk logic puzzle. He's like, but then should Doom even listen to himself? Doom is greater than himself.
And then his head exploded.
I like this. It reminded me that I actually really enjoyed the Doom 2099 just series in general.
Nice. Yeah.
It's like,
is that one of the? No, you got the X-Men 2099.
Yeah.
Doom 2099 was written by Warren Ellis and John Francis Moore.
It was.
That actually sounds like a pretty good team for it.
Very British.
Yep.
I think Moore started it and then Ellis picked up on it.
Yeah.
Moore started with Doom like being a weird like amnesiac or something.
Yes, it was.
And then Warren Ellis wrote it when he basically became like Lord of the United States.
Yeah.
We've got some facsimile editions, IDW snare line called IW Classics, which are $1.99 issue reprints of stuff from their, 20-year history.
We looked it up, 25
year
or
history.
even a little bit more, because the first thing that they published was in 1999.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that,
Wow.
Nick? Their breakout was 30 Days of Night.
Yep.
Yeah,
I had to remind
I remember
myself.
that.
But Randy, I believe their 1999 thing that they published was a random Mummy tie-in to like the second or third Mummy movie.
Okay.
Like very much forgotten,
been the second
not a notable outing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they are reprinting stuff. Some of it's kind of more recent. Like there's a Starfleet,
Star Trek Lower Decks.
Star Trek Lower Decks.
That's the first issue of that. But also the first issue of The Rocketeer by Dave Stevens, which they did the big deluxe hardcover of. And this week there's actually a digest-sized trade of it.
Which I highly recommend.
Yes. But if you want to give it a sample, this $2 first issue is really good and has just gorgeous artwork. You forget how good Dave Stevens?
Is that the Dave Stevens stuff? For some reason, as I'm looking at it, it didn't quite look like him.
Yeah, well, okay, there's the lead story by Dave Stevens, then there's a story by Tom Taylor and Colin Wilson.
Yeah, they're reprinting all that.
And then a story by Darwin Cook.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then a story by Robert Wyndham and Jay Lee. So a lot of good art in here.
Okay.
Utilizing some of the stuff that come after.
So this is
Stevens,
this is pretty great.
Yeah. The legacy of Cliff Secord.
And then Spider-Man Noir gets a facsimile edition, the first issue of that, because the trailers are hitting. That's coming out soon. But we are out of that right now. We'll have more back in next week.
Yep.
But it's the first issue of that. Speaking of the Rocketeer, I do want to mention real quick while we're on it that the second issue of Rocketeer: The Island came out last week. This is the Rocketeer
going to Skull Island.
Goes to Skull Island.
That's sort of the core premise. But
he's going to Skull Island looking for Amelia Earhart.
Right.
And the captain of his boat is Popeye.
Yes.
And one of his companions is Tintin.
Yes.
And his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Betty, and her sleazy photographer boyfriend, Marco, are also on the boat.
That's right. So there's a weird little sort of love triangle thing going on.
And there's a woman who I don't know, I think she might be invented, a sort of female archaeologist type.
Yeah.
Who is like, it has the hots for Cliff.
Unless she's been
Betty
in some
jealous.
of the other Rocketeer miniseries and stuff. But this one, they actually reach Skull Island in this issue, and Cliff has his first encounters with dinosaurs.
Yep.
Which
second encounter with dinosaurs.
That's true. But first encounter in this story.
Yes.
But since he is a flight-based hero, you can guess which ones he runs into initially.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Last week was a particularly good week for second and third issues, I think.
Yeah.
And this is mixed in with this week and last week, but the second issue of Ryan North's Flash, I think we all would maybe put that as our pick last week, or was close to.
It was for me.
This is the best that the Flash has been in such a long time.
I think I can say the rogue that's featured in it is Captain Cold.
Yep.
And he is used so well.
I have not liked the Flash like this since Geoff Johns was writing.
Right. Same.
It's really great. Great premise. Like you said, great use of Captain Cold this issue.
Yep. It's kind of the full-on. It's like the frenemy thing with Flash, which I really like. When they get that right, he's like one of my favorite villains, Captain Cold.
I also like that they're utilizing the family. Like Linda gets to do really cool stuff.
Linda gets to be cool. His kids volunteer to help out, and he tells them no.
Yep.
I much as I like Mark Waid's run, I didn't love when he did the kid thing. I didn't think it was interesting, but I'm liking the way that Ryan North is writing.
He's found a better balance, I think.
Yes.
Other second issues this week and last week. A Quiet Place. This is a story from the early days of The Quiet Place that was on an island.
Yeah, I'm liking this. It's like an island in like Mississippi or something like that. That they're trying to shore up and like blow the bridges and stuff like that to destroy the levee that links it to the land.
And some people are resisting because they think it's a hoax.
Right. And as you know, I would be one of those people. By the way, I'd be like,
you're gonna get us all killed by aliens, Dave.
I would be like, I saw it on the news and it looked like fucking AI. This is how AI is going to get us all killed.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's a neat story. It's Phil Hester doing a really good job with the story
for sure, and really nice art by Ryan Kelly.
Yeah.
Wonder Man issue 2 by Jerry Dugan. This is a sort of Hollywood story.
tell-all adventure with also Hellcat in it and some other guest stars.
Yeah, I really like the way they're using Hellcat. Also this week, Captain America number 10, which is the finale of the Doom Shadow story. Yeah. I really like this thing. Is like Cap is almost an insurgent inside post-Doom Latveria. In a very complicated situation. Yeah. There's no less than 3 factions vying for it within Latveria itself. Plus S.H.I.E.L.D. And then S.H.I.E.L.D. and a kind of rogue Thunderbolt Ross, a.k.a. the Red Hulk. Yep. It's a good issue with some twists and turns in it and some dark stuff in it too. This is all leading into Zdarsky's new Armageddon Assembles, which is going to be the new formation of the Avengers. The Red Hulk's going to be the bad guy. We don't exactly know what's happening, but Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon, which is a miniseries, is also tied into this, and that comes out this week. So there's 2 Zdarsky books. Yep. And I really like what they're doing. It's got Dave Colton, the sort of Desert Storm era Captain America that he introduced. Yep. Alongside Wolverine and a mutant hunter who's just changed her ways. Yep, we found out she was the one who helped catch Wolverine for Weapon X program originally. But sometimes we'll talk about this in that kind of the way in Scrooge in the Christmas Carol. Yeah, I'm like, you can say you're sorry, but if you had a lifetime of making people miserable, does that really balance the books? I feel like it doesn't. And you got to work at it continuously. Well, they introduced this character they introduced is a person who has. Yeah. She's been working with Wolverine for a while now, trying to help kind of mutants go underground and stuff like that and escape the stuff. And I thought that was a cool idea to show somebody who's been walking the walk.
It also reveals a lot about the program that made this new Captain America. Right.
And ties it into Nuke, the super soldier from Frank Miller's Daredevil. Yep.
Because we're, 1 month out from when Armageddon starts?
Well, it's funny because this one says 2 months, and then Captain America says 1 month.
Ballpark.
And they came out the same week.
Ballpark, baby. So, remind me, so there's going to be that crossover, and Zdarsky is doing Avengers?
He's doing Weapons of Armageddon. I think he will be launching Avengers out of it.
Okay. Do we know he's the creator on that?
No.
Okay.
We know he's creator on Armageddon. Right. Armageddon Assembles. We just don't know exactly what the deal is with that.
I am interested to see his Avengers if that comes to pass.
Same.
Because, one thing that's been cool in Cap is that there's like the kind of the core frontline action, adventure, and plot, but behind the scenes there's these quiet moments between all of the characters that have been really good, and I would love to see that kind of brought to the Avengers.
He's also doing world building that I don't... really adventurous world building, and I really like that. Yeah. Ambitious. Predator Bloodshed 3, I think I'm the only one reading this, but it's the one that's like a future fighting tournament, and the Predator crashes it. It's a lot of fun. This issue has the gladiators teaming up with the Predator against the capitalist and his security guards to like take them down for putting him in this situation in the first place. Punisher number 3, kind of still enjoying this classic Punisher take, actually. They're doing some interesting stuff with it.
I think I mentioned the other week that I had revisited Welcome Back, Frank?
Yep.
Yeah.
And at the time I hadn't read like the last issue or two. I did finish reading that, and it was a really good time. It reminded me that, like, when you're in the mood for it, Garth Ennis can be a really fun ride.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Especially when he's teamed with Steve Dillon.
Yeah.
So.
When you punch a polar bear, I mean, come on.
Sometimes when you punch a polar bear, the polar bear punches back.
I mean, some Mafia people found that out.
Yes. We have reprints that came in last week and are coming in this week. Absolute Batman number 7 through 12 got new printings. Yep. We do not have all of Absolute Batman, although I believe we do have all the trades and hardcovers now.
We do.
Just in time for Free Comic Book Day.
I think the only trade we're low, if not about to be out of, is Martian Manhunter.
We got one in today.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it'll be.
And for the record, we ordered more than that.
Yeah,
that's what we could get. Like we were cleaning out the warehouse.
We finally got a reprint of DCKO number 2, so we have all of DCKO.
Yep.
And then they're doing a connecting variant reprint of DC versus Sonic the Hedgehog 1 through 5, which is all the characters in one big...
the covers will all connect together. That's really very cool.
That's going to go over
back in the day when they did the Marvel Universe Handbook, the art on the covers, which all connected, was the Marvel characters like they were all running.
Yep.
Charging from left to right, basically.
Yes.
But it was a cool way to visualize all of them. Of course, if they were like big old monstery dudes, they were all kind of loping around on all 4 arms and legs. But like Cap would be all in the foreground and the lesser known characters in the background. It's a cool look, and I think that it'll be neat to see that on the Sonic one,
character stampede.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got the 13th printing of Transformers number 1.
Wow. Guess it's
Crazy.
doing okay.
Yep.
How many printings have there been of Absolute Batman?
More than that.
I don't think there's been more than that. I think it's in the same ballpark.
Okay, I thought there was more.
But it's Transformers has also been around like another year or two longer.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, do we know if there's plans to reprint single issues of Martian Manhunter or Absolute Martian Manhunter?
Yeah, so we have it all. Or we have most of it.
Oh, that is one. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't. That kind of slipped past my brain.
We don't have all of it. We have a fair number of it, though.
Okay.
Yeah. And then collections. We've got 2 weeks worth of collections to talk about here. DC Finest Batman Death in the Family, which has the famous issue where Jason Todd is killed by the Joker.
But stuff from before and after.
Also includes The Cult.
Yep.
With art by Bernie Wrightson.
Right, Jim Starlin wrote it, I think.
And then some Detective Comics issues from that era. So.
I was going to say, there's like a 2 or 3 part Norm Brayfogle.
The Cult was like a prestige format miniseries or a OGN maybe at the time?
It's a bunkers story, but I love it.
Never read it, but I might have to check that out.
We've got this week coming out DC Finest The Joker, which I don't remember what's in there yet. We haven't seen it yet. Or I haven't paid attention to it, I guess. Last week, G.I. Joe Real American Hero Compendium Book 3, which is 3 of 4 of the classic Hama stuff, as well as a Deluxe Hardcover Volume 1, which is the start of the Image Real American Hero stuff that he's been doing. And I bought that and read it. It's the first 10 issues of Hama. And it is zombie Serpentor and artificial intelligence having a civil war against Cobra Commander in Springfield, ninja stuff. It's bonkers, but it's so much fun.
Is Serpentor still a zombie?
Yes.
Okay.
As is Dr. Mindbender.
It's funny, though, despite that wild beginning, most of the single issues we were talking about lately have been more grounded.
Yeah.
There was like one where they were in like one of their fictional Eastern European countries, I think.
Yep.
And there's like essentially a sniper battle.
Yeah, that's a cool
one.
And
that also uses drones and stuff, but like kind of G.I. Joe upscaled, but like still kind of serious. And it's interesting that he's been able to fit those modes together in this book that is now on, issue 300 something?
I will say that, just to back up a little bit, that compendium includes the death of a bunch of Joes. I was reading that.
It's in that one?
Yeah, it's at the
I've never read that issue.
Fairy Trail End. Where
this is when the Saw Viper, Cobra Viper with like a heavy machine gun.
Kills Doc.
Guns down a bunch of them. You know, and of course, famously, even in the comics, which were notably much more realistic than the show, they didn't go exactly killing around a lot of G.I. Joe guys.
No.
Just every once in a while, but more often than not, it was some original supporting character he built up who you would come to like Quinn, of course, and then would get to die in some way, and it was usually very well handled.
I guess Hama wanted to show that there were times where
there were times when it suddenly happened. I think very specifically the idea that it happens like all at once, and it can be a lot of people.
Yep.
And that was his issue. So, yeah, I need to read that one. Against all odds, G.I. Joe, the original G.I. Joe, was a really good comic, and the Larry Hama's through line in it has still been good.
Yeah.
A little crazy, but good.
Yeah. We got a new collection of JLA Salvation Run. This is because I think they're going to do a movie of Salvation
They're teasing
Run.
it in Peacemaker.
The James Gunn, not like an animated movie.
No, like a movie.
Yeah.
But
what happens in Salvation Run?
All the villains are sent to another planet where they're sort of abandoned.
Kind of like Planet Hulk?
A little bit, yeah. They're basically taken out of our world, and they're like, oh, well, we'll just shove them here, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that does sound like something James Gunn would want to be a part of.
Yeah.
When I think about his Suicide Squad, the idea of having, like, you know, Black Adam and Luthor and stuff on a planet having to either work together or not.
Yeah. Well, they did a lot of this. All the setup for it is in Peacemaker Season 2.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mortal Thor gets its first collection. I've been really enjoying Mortal Thor.
If you want to see Thor, or
hitting people with a hammer that's not powered.
Right, it's like like a work hammer.
Sigurd
Jarlson. You have to say it. It's Scandinavian.
I'm not Scandinavian.
An every all day hammer.
You're more of a man shack kind of guy.
More of a man shack kind of guy.
So this is definitely on my to read list. Every time there's an issue out, I flip through it, and I was like, "Gosh, this art from
it's gorgeous.
Pascal Ferry is so good."
If I didn't have a reading pile that was already ginormous,
I
would like to add Jerry Dugan's Thor run because I read bits and pieces of it, and I really enjoyed. I thought it was Jerry Dugan.
No, Al Ewing. It's Al Ewing.
It's Al Ewing, right? His run. I would like to read that and then read all of Mortal Thor.
I get that. That said, I will read stuff out of order if I really want to, and I am going to let this one leapfrog whatever else.
Cool.
Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. We got the hardcover of that.
Yep, we talked a fair amount about that as it was coming out.
Yep.
Although the last issue or two was a little crazy in that Grant Morrison way, it was also oftentimes great in a Grant Morrison way. And it had that amazing artwork that was a little kind of like a somewhat more exaggerated Frank Whiteley style.
Creators of the Ice Cream Man.
From the creators of the very popular kind of like sort of Twilight Zone Black Mirror-ish comic Ice Cream Man.
Yep.
They clearly DC was like, you guys do what you want, and they did. And it was like kind of a little cult hit. And I think people should check out the thing if you like this sort of offbeat stuff. If you liked All-Star Superman stuff like that.
Yep, for sure.
Neo Silver Age. Weirdness.
Yeah. Speaking of Chip Zdarsky's week, is Batman by Chip Zdarsky Omnibus comes in. This is the first volume of his Batman run, big hardcover.
Yep. I talked. I didn't read that full run, but the part that I centered in on that I notably liked, or at least most of it, was the Batman Catwoman war, which I thought actually raised some interesting moral questions.
I did like that. The follow-up I wasn't crazy about, unfortunately, but
I think that there's probably a lot to recommend in there. Even though I think we maybe decided that ultimately Zdarsky is just a better fit at Marvel.
He just is, yeah.
But I can definitely see this being a good fit for some folks.
Jason Aaron's Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck gets collected.
Right on. Man, that Jason Aaron, he'll write whatever. But he actually will do it pretty good too.
Yeah. Second volume of Just the Unlimited by Mark Waid. This is and Dan Mora. This is the lead up to DCKO and Justice League.
Yep. But also like the Justice League that can have anybody in it.
Yep. A manga called Doggo.
Yeah.
It's about dogs.
Cool. I'd be frustrated if it wasn't.
Nerd Inferno, the Essential Evan Dorkin, for those who know. He had a book called Dork. It's about nerds and
his kind of scathing take on nerd culture.
Yes.
It is not real nice, but if you can laugh a little bit at yourself, or maybe some friends or some people you saw one time.
Yep.
He's really good at what he does, and he's a good cartoonist too.
Tom King's Omega Men series, which I think might have been the first thing he wrote for DC.
Oh, right. I think you might be right. It was a little bit
I
on the
think
radar.
he did Vision first, and then he did Omega Man.
Yeah.
I guess his kind of, the Omega Men are usually kind of like a part of like a group of aliens, a little like the Guardians of the Galaxy, but very specifically cast as like rebel uprising kind
against
of types.
like is it the Khund Empire or
or whatever that big one is from the Teen Titans.
It's not Omega, it's some name. Yeah,
it is a name that was like it's like the Citadel, like a conglomerate of.
Doesn't it also incorporate Kyle Rayner?
It might.
Well, they opened by making like they kill him.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Don't worry, he got better.
He got better, but it's a thing.
Anyway, there's a deluxe hardcover of that series. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe gets a trade. I really enjoyed this. This was basically super predators with vibranium armor and stuff.
Led by
Kraven the Hunter.
Yes.
To come and take out all the superheroes.
I honestly think all of the Predator versus the Marvel Universe.
Well, this is a continuation of it.
Right, I know.
They take Black Panther and Wolverine and Spider-Man into account.
Yeah.
Hey, what was it, Predator Badlands we all watched recently? Had a good time with?
Yep.
I wonder if like the comics might be a fun place if they wanted to explore more stuff with that character.
Yeah, maybe so.
Around to it.
Yeah.
I want a sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
I want a story that's him and his brother when his brother was alive and they have an adventure.
Teen Titans by Geoff Johns, Compendium 1.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big
This was kind of your era, wasn't it, Nick?
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with this, even though it is a little
grimdark.
A little grimdark.
Yeah.
Who was the artist? It was somebody good. Ivan Rice or...
No, it's somebody else, but it's somebody good.
It's somebody good.
It's somebody good. It's got really good art.
Yeah.
A graphic novel called Stimulus, which is an anthology by the creator of Bird King, which is a graphic novel from Dark Horse that sold really well.
Yeah, Bird King was kind of like a fantasy that reminded me of almost like Miyazaki at times.
Yeah, and this has that kind of vibe too.
Yeah.
Final Boss Volume 1, which is the sort of video game themed.
Is this one that's like very 80s?
Yeah. By Tyler Kirkham, I want to say. I think that's right.
Okay.
It's a Top Cow book.
This is one that's like kind of R-rated. It's like 80s kind of over-the-top parody, but like with some F-bombs and stuff like that.
That one's coming in tomorrow, and then as is Transformers Deluxe Hardcover Volume 2, which is the second half of that series.
So much stuff.
And then the other things, here's things we have not read yet. We don't have them. Batman Wonder Woman Truth. This is a one-shot interlude in the Batman Hush story by Jeff Loeb and Jim Chung.
Jim Chung, yep.
Elric the Sleeping Sorceress, #1, so a new Elric book.
Yep.
A book called From Parts Unknown that we decided was the... you made the sign for this. I don't remember what it was.
And the name is not descriptive enough to remind me what it is.
I don't know. It was zombie something or horror something. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway. It had a good pitch if it's the one we're thinking of.
Had a good pitch.
So good that we've forgotten it. There.
Well, the other one was like the one with the plane thing. That's not it.
No. Justice League Intergalactic Special, which has...
is it wrestling horror?
Wrestling horror. That's it.
Yes, we believe it to be pro wrestling horror.
Yep. Justice League Intergalactic Special, which has Star Sapphire putting together an intergalactic Justice League
team.
Like
a mission team.
Yeah, it's a one-shot. Something called Murder Hobo.
Yes, this is a spoof of the D&D premise of people just traveling around, hacking and slashing and stealing treasure and moving on. But I think it's like this is like a literal murder hobo. He's like some crazy old dude running around stabbing shit.
Oddballs Odyssey by Tony Millionaire.
Right, Tony Millionaire of Sock Monkey, known as kind of a surrealist comic creator and with like really amazing art that looks like old illustrations, like great illustrations from like the early 1900s or the 1800s. His take on a sort of surreal version of Homer's The Odyssey.
Yeah.
Weird creatures and psychedelic trippy shit, and probably just some of the... I'm betting the art is amazing on it.
Yeah, for sure.
So if that appeals to one.
From Image and writer-artist Lorenzo De Felici, who did one of the Robert Kirkman books, the one that was the
Skinbreaker.
City that got destroyed, Oblivion Song.
Oblivion Song. Yeah.
He was the artist on Oblivion Song.
He's a good artist.
This is his thing. It says, the lives of a professional killer and a high school teacher are bound by a terrifying, mysterious force. This is one of the Buzz books that's coming up this week.
I remember it looked kind of interesting. Yep.
Swamp Thing 1989 #1. Dave mentioned this earlier.
Yep. Swamp Thing meets Jesus.
Swamp Thing meets Jesus, or possibly, well, you have to read the second sign.
Yeah, we have our secret second sign on it. But incidentally, so this was, I believe, maybe the first of 3 issues that would have ended the series but like DC just never published them.
They said it's 4.
Is it 4? Okay. And DC never published them, so you're reading forbidden material here. It's like a banned book that's getting released. So read what 1988 or whatever, DC was not ready for you to read.
Writer-artist Jamal Campbell, who did the last Zatanna miniseries, comes back with a new Zatanna Next Level series.
Yep.
The Next Level is
DC's branding for their
Firestorm, Lobo,
Deadman,
Batwoman,
Deathstroke.
Yep. This is there. We're going to take some of our lower tier characters and give them a long
Do you know
run.
what the premise is? I found out what the premise is.
World Tour.
Well, what I heard is that she has become what I can
She's
only
the
say
Sorcerer Supreme.
Is the Sorcerer Supreme?
She's
it's like the
Prime Magus.
Prime Magus, and they kind of, I don't know. I sort of felt like, at least the way I read their description, was kind of like this is like a massive responsibility, but she kind of, I think, brings a little of her stage slyness to make it come off. And I kind of like the idea that there might be a little subterfuge, a little bit of like the Magician's movies kind of sneakery to make it all work. I don't know if that's exactly what they're doing, but that's what their write-up sounded like.
Campbell's artwork is always striking,
and that made me interested.
And the last thing, Dave, this had such a great pitch.
What's it called? Warbird?
It's called Warbird number 0. It's from Bad Idea Comics. The screenwriter Derek Kolstad, who created John Wick.
Yep.
And comic book writer Robert Venditti. There's a guy who's he's like a high-end repo man.
Right.
He gets mega yachts from billionaires, private planes. He basically has to steal it out from underneath the army of guards, and he gets hired. The Warbird. There are 3 next generation fighter jets called the Warbird. It's been built by China, France, Germany, the UK, and the US.
They described it as like this sort of Frankenstein super fighters.
There are 3 in the world. He is supposed to steal one and destroy the other 2.
Yep.
And that's a great premise.
It is a fun premise.
It is.
It also, I believe that he was watching Firefox,
and we decided Deal of the Century.
Deal of the Century, yes.
This is complete unknown movies unless you grew up in the 80s, in which case you may know both of them.
Yes.
If you're a nerd person.
And I think the odds are good.
A solid chance that some of those... We did have to look... Randy and I had to struggle to remember Deal of the Century.
Yes.
But we definitely remembered it.
Yes, we did.
Chevy Chase one, right?
Chevy Chase,
yes.
Gregory Hines, weapons dealers, some very bad special effects with a super high-tech plane at the end. Rick,
it was an entertaining movie.
If you had to guess who directed that movie,
you'll never guess.
Would you have guessed
that
it's the director of The Exorcist and The French Connection, William Friedkin?
I would not have guessed that.
No.
He was stretching his legs. We looked into it. It seems like it may have been one of those where, because Sigourney Weaver, who's also in it, said that the script was better on paper and something happened somewhere between.
We think Chevy Chase fucked it up.
Chevy Chase came in, Chevy Chase egoed it into his own movie, and it turned into shit.
And that is probably what happened. Chevy Chase is always ruining things.
Yeah, nevertheless, it is a movie about a secret super plane.
It's true. All right, that is our flood of comics. We are going to take a break. We don't have a report on Free Comic Day Comics for you, unfortunately. There's been too much. We haven't had time to break them all out, read them, that kind of thing.
That's right. So we're in the hinterlands, right? So it's the wild lands.
Yes.
So when you come out, go on your instinct, go on your gut.
Yes.
When you feel the right one, just grab it. And
it's the bad days, the all or nothing days.
That's right. But it's going to be exciting.
Yes.
It's going to be exciting.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about some trailers and some news. All right, so we go away for 2 weeks, and Hollywood puts a bunch of trailers out.
Yep. Some interesting ones in here.
Do.
Yeah. We are not talking about the Ted Lasso trailer, partly because I think Nick and I watched it, but Dave has no idea what Ted Lasso is.
I wouldn't know what it is.
And he'll be like, "Who lassos the Ted Lasso?"
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna like mock you while you're talking about it.
I mean, you might remember your Veronica Mars jokes.
I mean, that was good stuff.
But no, there's not much to say about it. It's just a teaser. But we did get teasers for several things. Let's start with talking about. We just watched Clayface.
Yep.
Right.
It is just a little 1 minute. There's
Moon
a
piece.
There's a song by I'm pretty sure the Flaming Lips.
It is. I just looked it up. It's "Do You Realize" by the Flaming Lips.
And it's
kind of reorchestrated or modded or whatever in that eerie horror way.
They like to do that. The
distorted song.
Yeah.
But it is a song that's like, what is it like? Do you have the most beautiful face or something like that?
But Clayface doesn't because he's got a
it's ironic.
He has no face.
All right, but this trailer, like, even if you have still framed on it and haven't started it, what you see is a horrific image of a person with a bandaged face and like clearly like bloody injuries showing through it and like bloodshot eyes, just looking absolutely wrecked and distraught. And the camera is doing a slow pan inward on them, a slow zoom. And while you see snippets of other things, and I guess we're getting the story. It's probably Matt Hagen.
I'm pretty sure it is Matt Hagen, yes.
And I don't know. Do they indicate, like, was he like aging out of roles?
They don't really, I mean, there's not much you said in this teaser, so who knows?
I assume he gets some like disfiguring accident happens, and he gets roped in by somebody to do an experimental procedure.
So they show a bit in shadow of him like creating the little mace that he makes in his hand.
Yep.
You know what's interesting? The Batman animated series did some really good like dark tragic villain stuff with like Mr. Freeze. And their Clayface was really good and creepy.
He was a desperate actor who wasn't altogether evil. But kind of, like later on when he would show up, he was kind of like a heavy.
He'd be kind of driven insane.
He definitely became like a big bad guy. He was a big mud man.
It feels weird.
Remember the part where Robin fell for a split-off version of himself that had formed into a little girl and didn't know that it was part of Clayface? And in the end, Clayface reabsorbed her? Oh my God.
Man, that's the thing is like, this can be a creepy psychological thing, but the Batman animated series is a high bar to clear.
It's a high bar to clear. And it does still weird me out because, like, this looks like it is going to tell a story that is going to be like an emotional gut punch about like this person's tragic life and how what desperation for success drives us to and stuff like that.
But it won't.
And then, but I'm going to be like, it is part of the DC universe. Am I going to be able to want Batman to punch this guy for stealing some jewels? Or am I going to be like, Batman? No, don't
please. You know he has trauma?
Yeah, don't you know he has trauma?
And Batman's like, I know, all my villains have trauma.
You know how, this is Mike Flanagan writing and directing?
No, just writing.
Just writing.
The director is somebody else.
But we know his writing from, like, Haunting of Hill House and a bunch of other good projects. And he's very good at dealing with characters with trauma, alcoholism, all sorts of problems. Like, I'm just thinking, you learn to have sympathy for almost everybody in, say, Haunting of Hill House. What if Batman showed up and punched one of them at the end?
I'd be okay with it.
No, the bent neck lady is already bad enough.
I feel like we'll see Hagen kill a lot of people, and he'll go a little bit Invisible Man.
Yeah.
So this is the director is James Watkins, whose most recent movie was Speak No Evil.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Speak No Evil.
It was the about the making friends on a trip.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. That was like a fairly like very intense but sort of smart.
I mean, that
psychological horror.
The story was great, but it came down to what's his name is in the lead.
Yeah,
as the villain. Yeah. No, it's guy who played Professor X.
Oh, James McAvoy.
Yeah.
I confused those two.
He is.
When you said Ewan McGregor, I was like, Randy's right.
He's right.
I was like, wait, no, he's not.
They're basically the same person.
Basically the same guy.
McAvoy is a tour de force.
He also directed an episode of Black Mirror.
Okay.
Or possibly more than one.
Well, this all sounds pretty promising. Yeah. The trailer didn't grab me. It is kind of weird. It's just weird to see a Batman villain movie that is disturbing looking.
Yeah.
But I do think it's probably going to be much better than say Sony's bad Spider-Man movies that don't have Spider-Man in it,
or Black Adam, or
right.
Shazam.
Yeah, I mean Gunn is one of the producers. Mike Flanagan wrote it. I have a pretty fair.
Gunn keeps on talking about how great a script it was and that they just had to make it.
What's funny is I'm not super into this idea of a Clayface movie, but there's enough behind it. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of looking forward to this.
For the most part, not literally everything, but for the most part, Flanagan is a kind of can't go wrong kind of guy. He has so many good qualities. So, but he's not doing every aspect of this. So for all I know, maybe he just made a weird call and.
I'm going to throw money on the fact that Batman shows up at the very end.
I can see it. They unlike Sony, they can do that if they want.
Yes,
right?
True. Yep.
Just punches him.
And
you watch. It's a 2-hour movie about this man's psychological development and torture, and then Batman comes in and just knocks him out.
Yeah, he's going to be like, I think I'm finally putting it behind me. Bam!
Old 60s style.
And he's like, please, no,
Stop hitting me.
I just want to act. We wrote the movie for them.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is a pretty great script.
Pretty great script, after all.
There's also a teaser for Godzilla Minus Zero.
Yep.
Which is also like less than a minute. It's a very short trailer. Godzilla Minus One is a fantastic movie from a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
It was the first time I was really that the human characters who inevitably you have to spend more time with than you'd like in a Godzilla movie. The first time I actually cared about them.
Yeah.
And it very much wore its heart on its sleeve. It's a little emotionally manipulative, but I thought it was like, oh, they're so likable. I just like all the characters in this, and I want them.
Godzilla was horrific.
And Godzilla was a force of nature.
Yeah.
It was just a force of nature. And
here it looks like he's another force of nature. There might be some
black and white still, right?
Yep.
No,
it's not. It's full color.
Okay.
Color.
They did full color, but they also did it in black and white.
As original. Like a callback to
yeah.
Okay.
But it also looks like Godzilla makes it to America.
Yeah, well, we see him in the Statue of Liberty. He's also much bigger in this one. Yes.
Yeah, and we do know, of course, that he size-wise that he started out rather small before the radiation fully changed him. So in the 1940s, when you first meet him in the thing, he's like a T-Rex kind of size.
And I'm remembering correctly, it's the same guy that did the minus one.
It is the same
one.
Guy, yes, for sure.
But of course,
in his hands, I'm fine with it. Whatever.
And I generally have some faith in him. But even by the end of it, Godzilla was already pretty big.
Yeah. I need to rewatch I really liked it, but I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, what we should do is maybe a month before the new one hits or something like that, do that.
Then we got trailers. We got Coyote versus Acme. This is a great story because
just like the Swamp Thing that was buried,
but without Jesus.
As
far as we know,
and Lemmy.
This was a movie that Warner Brothers, David Zaslav shelved because David Zaslav didn't want to make movies; he wanted to make money, and so he killed the Batgirl movie. He tried to shelve this one.
A completed movie.
Yep.
I really want to see that Batgirl movie.
Me too.
This had gone to a couple festivals and that kind of thing, and people really liked it. And then we killed it. There was a lot of outrage, and this small studio, Ketchup Entertainment, somehow managed to buy it from them.
Yeah.
And they're going to show it. And the trailer is pretty hysterical. The idea is Wile E. Coyote has been badly maimed, destroyed by all the Acme inventions that he gets that misfire on him.
And he sees a commercial or whatever for one of these kind of shady lawyers who's like, have you been injured?
Who is it? Will Forte? Will Forte's playing his attorney.
And he's going to sue Acme on behalf of him.
And Acme's attorney is John Cena.
Yes.
Playing a very smarmy corporate lawyer.
I think that's perfect casting.
Yes.
I heard about this, and I was like, well, maybe there was a reason it got cut. And it's a fun idea, but there's probably not a movie's worth entertainment out of it. But I don't know, this trailer is really
legitimately
quite good.
Great. And also they make use of Foghorn Leghorn as a Southern lawyer, basically.
Yeah, he's like a high-level fixer.
Phenomenal.
Bugs Bunny shows kind of threatening.
Bugs Bunny shows up as like a Deep Throat type character.
Yeah, totally.
Tweety Bird is in it.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Donald or
Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck.
Yep. So the legal team, it looks like, is kind of part of the cast.
Yep.
And it's all kind of like in the real world. It's not an all animated, but the animated characters are animated.
Yep.
So in that sense, it's kind of like Roger Rabbit. It's also one of those, when it was, before I kind of seen the trailer, I was like, well, this is also going to be one of those weird ones where it's like, do people really want courtroom theatrics with the Warner Brothers characters?
But it seems like wider spectrum than that.
Yeah, and like again, it's like the trailer was legitimately funny.
The trailer's really
times.
funny. Yeah.
So
and I don't feel like we saw all the jokes.
The visuals look
either.
good.
Yeah.
And so for sure, fingers crossed that it comes through.
Finally, we have the full trailer for Spider Noir.
It's so weird.
It does look weird.
They lean into the effects and stuff.
Yep.
There are a lot of shots of him web swinging.
We see Electro. We see Sandman.
The web swinging looks pretty cool.
It looks pretty good.
It looks like he has organic shooters. Right?
He has organic shooters,
and definitely like there's some like they even like even though it kind of is filmed in that Sin City style with heightened contrast of black and white. there's several times you see him during the daylight, and he'll be like fighting 3 people on like out on the city streets and webbing them and doing fast action, kind of cool Spider-Man moves. And so what villains did we think we saw?
Well, we think we saw
Sandman, Electro for sure. Hammerhead.
Yep.
The Brendan Gleeson plays the sort of crime lord who's the head of it.
Okay, that's who he is.
I don't know if maybe he's their kingpin.
Brendan Gleeson is a legit great character actor.
Very imposing.
Yeah. And there's a couple moments of Nick Cage clearly going about full Nick Cage.
Yep. Randy, you want to go ahead and say what you heard about how he was going to... his internal process.
I saw an article where he said, I want to play it like a spider that thinks it's a man.
My follow-up question would be, like, what would that even look like? Would you be just making spider sounds?
I'm sure he would show you.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like the trailer he goes full Cage.
Yeah, does go full Cage.
We're at least seeing a tease of
where
that.
Yes. This is neat looking, and I like the kind of the premise and all that stuff. Where I'm a little worried is that although the premise seems interesting enough, and I like a lot of the little pieces in there, I have yet to see like one even single exchange of dialogue where I was like, oh, that's kind of neat, or that's a cool line, or whatever. It's all kind of just Nicolas Cagey, or that's what people are talking about, plot stuff. And I need to see that there's actually some halfway decent writing. Doesn't have to be a fully A-list, but it's got to be pretty good.
Yep.
So I will say Gleason does play a known character.
Do we want to say who it is?
Oh, yeah, who is it?
Silvermane.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Does he have the white hair yet, or is it going to happen? Because that's how he gets his name.
But Silvermane also, I think he's the bad guy in the comics. So that makes sense.
And
I didn't
his
know that.
love interest is...
Is it Gwen Stacy?
No, it's a take on Cat Hardy, which is Black Cat.
Black Cat. Okay.
Not Silvermane's love interest.
No. Ben Parker's.
Okay.
Which I think that's cool.
Ben Reilly, actually.
Ben Reilly.
Is that the woman he talks to?
Yes.
The Asian woman?
Yep.
Okay.
They're doing a new take on that.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, how old is he?
He's like 70.
Old enough to not be playing Spider-Man in live action.
Right,
Let's
like your average tough guy detective, I would say, is probably between 35 and 45.
Okay, he's 62 years old.
He's 62 years young. Actually, okay, that's good. Because I was thinking, is he like 70?
No, he's only 62, Dave. He's not old.
Maybe it's just the mileage. Anyway, I want this to be cool. I have some trepidation.
Yeah, same.
The guy who wrote it has got some interesting things under his belt.
I'm sure he does.
Interesting? You say?
Well, I mean, he did... the Escape Room movie, which I like.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a very entertaining
That's
film.
a pretty good movie.
He wrote the Mortal Kombat, which was not good.
The newer Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, but it had moments.
Yeah, sure, it had moments.
He wrote 22 Jump Street, which I do kind of enjoy.
Is that the sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said,
it
could come off, but it could not.
Right.
Yep.
I'm hopeful because I root for Nicolas Cage, but I don't always expect everything he does to be good.
Oh, you don't think it's all gold?
No, God, no. I like the man, but he's definitely insane.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, let's talk about news, because there has been some news.
Okay.
First of all, Jerry Conway, writer who did a lot of Spider-Man, co-created Firestorm, and created The Punisher.
Yes. Yep. Did he oversee the death of Gwen Stacy?
Death of Gwen Stacy.
Right, he wrote that. Like, not I say oversee. He wrote the issue.
He wrote it. Yeah. He passed away recently.
Yeah.
And yeah, that guy was. I mean,
he was like I think I remember seeing 73, and that's not nothing. Yeah. But it also feels a little young for like the ages that people can reach.
Yes.
So I wish he had had some more time.
I can think off the top of my head at least one person who's older than 73 that I wish had not reached that age.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is you I think I might know who it is.
I bet you do.
I bet I could guess. But anyway, you know what's funny, Randy? I for sure, I have those original, that original Punisher issue with Spider-Man in it. I, as a kid, was drawn to the Punisher. I had a later appearance by him, and because he was not yet a big thing, like he was just before he became big, I happened to go out and like buy that issue from the back issues for like, I bet $12, something like that. The first Punisher appearance. So, but I don't have a lot of experience with Jerry Conway. I do like Firestorm.
At some point I had
you've read some of the...
I had all the Spider-Man essentials that caught me up to where I started reading Spider-Man in the 80s. So I have read...
Spidey.
I have read all of Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. Or had until I gave up.
Right.
You know... after Brand New Day. But Jerry Conway, I can say with some authority, is one of the best Spider-Man writers.
I remember you making a point to say, like, he is an unsung, one of the unsung
People do not give enough credit.
Kind of like, the same way, I guess, like, was it Ross Andrew?
Yeah.
As an artist?
Yep.
Like, people barely know that name a lot of times. He's not an icon by any means.
Yep.
But if you see his Spider-Man stuff, I'm like, Homeboy was, like, up there with Romita Sr. and, like, I think is, like, a legit through line to that style, and he's great.
So Jerry
Conway, I think, is that kind of guy for writers.
He also co-created The Jackal, which makes sense.
Yep.
But
by the way, I also randomly had, I think, a reprint of that issue with the Jackal with the clones in it, like, so 70s clones, not 90s clones.
Yep.
And I remember, it's a cool issue. Jackal, for a guy who's like a crazy, kind of somewhat older professor, is scary in it. He is slashing Spider-Man's costume to ribbons. He's actually seems quite unstoppable in it. So I guess I do have a little.
At the DC side, he co-created Firestorm, Power Girl, Jason Todd, and Killer Croc.
Oh, that's right.
Also Vixen.
Man, Jason Todd is in recent years has blown up.
He wrote Justice League of America for 8 years. He wrote the first intercompany crossover, Superman vs. the Amazing Spider-Man. He started writing at age 16.
Oh man, one of those guys.
This dude, he has written a ton of stuff. He wrote a year's worth of Fantastic Four. He was very prolific.
So this is a good one. Like if you don't know a lot about him, it's a good one to track down some stuff.
Oh, he also wrote Atari Force. Which is
that's
thing
funny.
I wish they'd reprint.
Right, that I say infamously. It famously had some of the best artwork and rarest artwork of Jose Luis Garcia Lopez.
Yep.
Who was the style guide, the DC artist of the 70s and 80s, and a really peak level craftsman, kind of like the Gil Kane of his era. I would love. I had an issue of Atari Force as a kid. For the record, by the way, yes, this is Atari like the video games, but the comic, in the same way that Marvel took seriously ROM and Micronauts from Bill Mantlo. The Atari Force comic was like a kind of serious sci-fi comic. It was space adventures, It was like little Star Wars, maybe I don't know what the other influences were, but they were adventurers. Yeah. With a sci-fi thing with super good art. And I did not know Jerry Conway did it. They should for sure reprint that. Is it just like the Atari license?
I think Atari license. I have a feeling they don't have the rights to it.
Also, I didn't know
too bad.
He wrote 2 episodes of Batman the Animated Series.
He wrote a lot of TV.
Yeah,
actually.
he did. But he wrote Appointment in Crime Alley and Second Chance, which I can't remember.
Both are good episodes.
I remember those both being good episodes with a little bit more of an emotional quality.
And I
than you
believe the
have.
Spider-Man 90s series was very based on his work, and I believe he was like story editor or something on it.
Huh.
Yeah. So a name you may not know, but Jerry Conway was huge in this industry. Yeah. He also was one of the editors at DC when Paul Levitz was an assistant editor. Uh-huh. And Levitz told the story basically there were corporate cuts. Yeah. They were supposed to cut the assistant editors, and he and Joe Orlando kept Levitz and a couple others out of their own pockets for a few months.
Oh, wow.
So Paul Levitz, one of the best editors DC ever had.
And one of the great legion of superheroes
would
writers.
have fallen out of DC before he ever did any of that. Man. So, yeah. A huge time in the industry who doesn't always get recognized as such. So, yeah.
Give him a look-see. Rest in peace, Jerry Conway.
Yeah. Dungeon Crawler Carl, we've talked about it a few times.
True.
It has a TV show in the works.
Yep.
It is being done by Evan, isn't it? Isn't Seth Rogen?
No, it's
Seth MacFarlane.
Live or animated?
Live.
Okay.
And I saw some of the Dungeon Crawler Carl fans kind of griping about that. They were saying it should be an animated series, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think you want it to be.
I think at least a little bit of grounding in kind of like some real characterization and stuff like that.
Yes, but also there are a lot of CGI characters that are going to have to be in this.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing about it is for the first 3 floors, they're all human.
Not all.
Not all. I mean, Donut it will definitely be. And there are a couple of them.
It gets a little crazier as it goes on.
But as things start to change after floor 3, definitely it's going to become more.
Donut is the cat.
Donut is the cat.
What if instead of constantly showing Donut talking and moving about and stuff like that, they just showed a bobbing tail that was a physical object?
People would hate that. You have no idea how angry people are right now at you, Dave, for even suggesting that. People are yelling at the podcast,
and the voice just comes from off screen.
I know Dinneman is involved.
Yeah.
I know he's producing. I know he said that
Who's that?
He's the writer.
that he wouldn't do this if it was besmirched his own creation.
It's being written and executive produced by Chris Yost.
Yep.
Who does a lot of good stuff.
I was going to say, his
Isn't
comics...
like Young Justice and stuff?
Yes, yeah.
His comics work is okay.
His TV work is great.
His TV and animation work is great.
Yep. Yep.
Seth MacFarlane, his company's involvement... I mean, I like the Orville.
I think we've all liked the Orville.
I thought the Orville was great.
Yeah.
So he can do the...
And by the way, Orville is a pretty good example of something that's probably a pretty high-budget show. Lots of special effects constantly.
Agreed.
But I'm sure they found their own workarounds and ways to, have the cat off screen with just a bobbing tail.
Yeah, I saw Matt Denneman, which he's plain spoken as Carl.
Yes.
He says, we're not going to do it if it's going to look like absolute shit.
Yep.
And he says they will do CGI testing on Princess Donut and stuff like that. That's all I can say. He's like, if you watch Ted or the Orville, you see they know what they're doing. Okay. I know that Ted got canceled recently, and I saw some of the Dungeon Crawler Carl fans were like, they can't even afford to do Ted. How are they going to do... And I'm like... Ted is not Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Right.
This is a huge...
A broad
Peacock
appeal
will
thing.
throw money at this.
We hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they don't, they won't do it. I mean,
Yeah. Because I think there's supposed to be 10 books.
Yes.
So this is going to be a multi-season show. Hopefully they can get commitment to do all of it. I've seen... millions of casting what ifs because that's what every fan does on any Facebook group that I'm involved in, and I'm like, how many times have we seen you're wanting to do so and so for Carl? It's like, whatever. My hope is they get a lot of no names.
Yeah.
I would like some up and comers.
There is an Animorphs TV series in development at Disney Plus.
Man,
this is from Ryan Coogler's production company.
Wow, that's pretty big.
Being written and executive produced by named Bayan Walcott, who is known for... He's doing The Testaments right now, which is the sequel to Handmaid's Tale. He did American Crime Story, one of the seasons of that. He worked he worked on a show called Class of 09. I don't know if you remember that show.
So here's what I know about Animorphs, because I have not seen it. Aside from love the covers, hilariously parodied throughout.
Yep.
But... I would go on to hear that there's a lot of compliments for the writing and the lore and stuff on that.
Yep.
And in particular, as J.K. Rowling's star fell, I often saw people say, you want a good YA series that's more progressive in its values and has some cool and deep examinations of trauma and stuff like that they would always bring up Animorphs. Now, I don't know if that was just really the Animorph fandom really coming out for, what they loved, or, if the series really is pretty good.
I have a premise here from Variety.
Okay.
The book series, created by Catherine Applegate and her husband Michael Grant, followed a group of teenagers, Jake, Marco, Cassie, Rachel, and Tobias, who discover the Earth is being secretly taken over by a parasitic alien race known as Yeerks.
Okay.
The group meets a dying alien of the Andalite race, which has been fighting the Yeerks in their expansion across the galaxy. The Andalite gives them the ability to morph into any animal they touch by absorbing the animal's DNA. They use this power to...
so it's not like... I thought it was like a bunch of different people and they all can morph into animals. Instead, it's a small group of people and they can morph into multiple different animals.
Yes. They use this power to launch a secret resistance against the Yeerks and save the world.
All right, that sounds good.
There are 54 books.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
That means there are 54 covers.
54 covers. Yeah, I like the weird ones where somebody turns into an anteater or a horse.
Yeah. But, I mean... Partly, I'm all for this because I hope it does better than the Harry Potter show on HBO Max. Yes. But yeah, it's kind of fun.
I would like for it to. Yes, I would like for the reports of its coolness to come through, and the showrunners to find what's good about it and all that stuff.
I would like her to find her so upsetting that she's struck dumb and cannot speak ever again.
What if the CG is just like in Willow when he is like trying to turn what's her name? Into different animals.
CG. That was cool stuff.
I know, it was the earliest morphing technology. It probably helped inspire this.
Laura Dannon?
Was it Laura Dannon?
Or no, that was the baby. I forget who.
That's right. It's the witch lady.
I forget
it's not Bev Morta.
No.
Nope, that's the villain.
I don't know.
Good Morta.
It's good Morta. Not Bev Morta.
Someone is screaming at the screen right now at their earbuds.
So, you guys, we talked about Final Destination Bloodlines.
Yep, loved it.
That we really enjoyed it. It was my first Final Destination movie. I had a great time. It was done by Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein.
Okay.
And the next thing they're working on is Metal Gear Solid.
Sorry, the makers of
Final Destination
Bloodline.
You know what? Metal Gear is so over the top.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, when you get down to it, like, if you hear people talk about it, they make you think that it's some kind of, like, really super sly, stealth-based thing that's all about, like, stealth kills and stuff like that. It is not.
It is one man's insanity.
It is
drug-fueled.
It is an anime version of, like, of stealth missions, but with, like, giant robots, and so many endless weird bits of, like,
man hiding in a
body,
box.
body humor, weird pervy stuff.
Yep.
Secret left-wing messages. Serious, go look it up. He compared himself to Che Guevara in one of the games with absolute reverence, and a wild series of turnarounds, backstabbings, and like triple agents and quadruple agents.
Yep. And Revolver Ocelot.
I do love them. I love them. They're so good. They're very fun to play and ridiculous.
I wonder if Hideo Kojima is going to be involved.
I don't know. Generally,
Without his,
you want his blessing. You need some of the weirdness, because I wouldn't want it if they played it too straight. Like, I don't want him to just be like a dude in a cool jumpsuit running around killing bad guys.
Yeah, I don't want a Tom Clancy thing. I want something over the top, kind of. I want a Metal Gear game.
Yes.
So I will say, as a caveat, these guys the first thing they did was an indie horror movie called Freaks, indie sci-fi film called Freaks, which I now kind of want to watch.
Yeah.
They're working on a sequel to that, on post-production and sequel. They are also clearly in that we've just made it.
Yeah.
Let's say yes to everything.
Yes.
Sure.
Because they are also working on a Gremlins feature they wrote for Wormland, something called Long Lost with Amblin, The Traveler at Paramount, of animated Venom movie for Sony, and original sci-fi epic The Earthling for Columbia, which they're also charged to direct with. So these guys are at every studio.
Right.
So
What you're saying is it might not come off.
There's a strong possibility this will never happen.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Randy, I believe you're probably aware that these games are also infamous for long cutscenes because Kojima is a wannabe director.
Yeah.
Where you're like, am I gonna get to play a game? Like, cause it'll like open and there's like an hour-long cutscene before you can like do shit.
That sounds horrible.
I'm exaggerating slightly, but it is kind of a thing. It's there's a certain point where the insanity becomes very appealing, though. I can only, as I was playing Metal Gear 5, Nick, and crawling around in my hospital gown with kind of his butt showing, and he was like barely alive in that one in the opening sequence as like decked out high-tech commandos attack the hospital you're in, and you have to like crawl around at a snail's pace from room to room trying to avoid them. I was like, this game is amazing.
Sure.
But you have to embrace it. Anyway, yes, Godspeed, you crazy maniacs. I hope it happens.
Hulu has developing a pilot called Southern Bastards, based on the Jason Aaron crime series.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon is going to star as the
bad guy, right?
No, he's the lead guy. He's the good guy.
Oh, is he? I see.
Southern Bastards is about a military vet, a woman who comes back to Alabama looking for her estranged father. Kevin Bacon is the estranged father, and he becomes sort of the walking tall guy, basically.
Right.
So for somebody who doesn't remember what Walking Tall is, what's that?
The town is run by a corrupt sheriff.
It's the Rock movie, right?
It's the Rock movie.
But it was like a 60s movie.
Yeah, it's like
originally.
a 60s movie. So basically it's a military vet. It's kind of Rambo-ish. A military vet comes to this town.
Is he kind of a good old boy?
Yeah, kind of. But
I guess in my head I always thought he was.
It's run by basically organized crime run by the winningest high school football coach in the South.
I see. Oh, that sounds like a good bad guy.
And then that's the bad guy. And then they will be involved. So Bill Dubuque from Ozark and Nia DaCosta are sharing story credit on the pilot.
Is this going to be kind of like a sort of trashy exploitation vibe?
I don't know. Matt Olmstead from the NBC Chicago franchise is serving as showrunner, which makes it sound a little procedural to me.
I didn't read Jason Aaron's comic, but I kind of got the impression that it was from a time when he was kind of doing a little bit of his Garth Ennis.
A little bit. It's not quite that over the top.
Okay.
It's definitely more of a serious crime thing.
Okay.
I like the cast.
Yeah,
I mean, Kevin Bacon's good.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see what happens with this. And we did just get Southern Bastards back in, if anyone wants to read it in advance of this coming out.
Yeah, find out what the secret bastard is.
Oh, the director of this is Bernardo Marcus Green, who did We Own the City.
Yeah, which is a...
miniseries.
David Simon
series that was fantastic.
Last couple bits. Django Zorro, the Quentin Tarantino Matt Wagner comic, is getting a sequel of sorts, a big screen continuation from director Brian Helgeland, who did Mystic River and LA Confidential.
That's weird.
Did he also write A Knight's Tale?
He might have.
I think he did.
He may have.
At any rate, I don't know if this is actually going to happen.
And by the way, if you're like, Django Zorro, what? This was an actual comic that came out about, 10 years ago or whatever. Yeah. And it's kind of weird because, you've got your kind of more traditionally heroic Zorro, a predecessor to a Batman type guy. And you got Django, who is full-on sort of blaxploitation homage from Tarantino. Those movies are R-rated. Very R-rated language. And were dropped 8 million times because Tarantino.
Yeah.
And they did not do that in the comic.
No.
I don't think it's dropped even once, which in a weird way, I'm like, that doesn't feel very Django. But I remember reading enough of it to kind of find it fun. Basically, he's the righteous black bounty hunter. Zorro is the famous icon Spanish hero of the people. And again, early predecessor to Batman. Because he was like... Don Diego was kind of like a wealthy man about town.
Yep.
I mean, he straight up has the Bruce Wayne origin.
Yep.
And it's kind of a fun idea. It's a weird one.
I
bet this doesn't happen.
I also bet this doesn't happen.
But if it does, I'd be interested.
I bet it does.
Oh, interesting.
The last thing I want to mention is there's a GameFound campaign coming up for the Justice League Unlimited role-playing game. Which is going to be... Mark Waid is helping to write this role-playing game.
Oh.
You remember when Justice League Unlimited #1 came out, I was like, this is such a great premise for a Justice League game.
Right.
And so they're going to make a game of it.
That's a cool idea. Randy, when we've talked about the Avengers, I think you encapsulated it well when you would say that your favorite Avengers teams have maybe a core of some of the icons, but need to have some B or even C listers filling it out.
Absolutely.
Who kind of rise to the occasion, become something. The writers make something out of them. And for you and I, growing up, that was Monica Rambeau. The Black Knight and Wonder Man for me and stuff like that, who just they were absolutely none of these started out as A-listers and didn't really quite become A-listers. Monica's honestly the closest now with the movies, but even then she's not quite there. But those are great characters to have in there, and the Justice League Unlimited allows them to do something like that. So you often have a few anchors, in there of at least one or two major Justice Leaguers. But yeah, you could have anybody in that mix. You could have the Atom as a side character, or was it Airwave, who's their new kind of POV character, which should make for some very fun role-playing games. Do we know what system?
It's its own system, and we don't know a lot about it. It hasn't even launched on GameFound yet.
But
I just found it
pretty
interesting
cool to have. Mark Waid in there. Probably a lot of ideas he had about here's how you would run it, here's who would run the security, and here's how it would all be done. Are probably going to become canonical within the game.
Yep. All right, that will wrap it up for us this time. We might be back next week, hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully it'll all be normal and everything will be great. And until next time,
Yo,
Joe. Roguecast is a weekly podcast broadcast from Rogues Gallery Comics and Games in Round Rock, Texas. You can find us online on Facebook and at www.roguesgallerytx.com and email us comments or questions at roguesgallerytx@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.